What would 2024 look like according to NHL 20? 2020 was the year the entire world stopped and changed. I mean, we had the pandemic. Nothing has really been the same since. But basically what we're going to be doing is we are going to be simulating up to current day using NHL 20. And according to EA Sports, we are going to see what would have happened if we did not face a global pandemic that changed everything. So before we go ahead and simulate, I do want to check out the NHL. I mean, take a look at this. A 34-year-old Ryan Getzlaf at an 85 overall. They still have Lindholm on their team, Josh Manson, Henrique. Corey Perry, I believe, was already gone. Taylor Hall playing on the Arizona Coyotes. How many people actually remember him playing for them? Phil Kessel at an 87. The Boston Bruins have obviously Bergeron, Marchand's there, Pasta, all at a 91 apiece. Probably the best line in hockey at the time. Charlie McAvoy is still very young. Zdeno Chara still on the squad, as well as David Krejci. Buffalo has Jack Eichel at a 22-year-old. He's 91 overall. Sam Reinhart is still there. Rasmus Dahlin, literally, I believe, just got drafted the year before. Calgary has the Norris-winning Mark Giordano at an 88 overall. Johnny Hockey, rest in peace. Sean Monahan is there. Matthew Tkachuk is only 21 years old. The Carolina Hurricanes have Aho, Teravainen. Their team honestly looks pretty similar besides Dougie Hamilton now being with New Jersey. The Blackhawks still have Kane and Taves on the roster at a 91 and 87. Duncan Keith is still there. A lot of the old guys that are now moved on. And Chicago right now is in the Bedsy era. Andrew Shaw, I completely forgot about him playing on the Blackhawks. Colorado will have a 24-year-old Nathan McKinnon, 92 overall. Rantanen is there, as well as Landy Makar. Literally, I believe this was his rookie season, 1920. Nazem Kadri is playing here. Eric Johnson, Burakovsky. They're a few years away from winning the Cup. Seth Jones is still on Columbus. I mean, Pierre-Luc Dubois is there. They don't have a great team. They still don't have a great team. Dallas has Sagan as their best player at an 89 overall. John Klingberg at an 87. Oh, Alexander Radulov. I remember him returning to the NHL from the KHL. He started off with the Montreal Canadiens, then he went to Dallas for a few seasons. I don't remember where he ended up before he left the NHL for the final time. I think he's still playing in the KHL currently. Detroit, I mean, they got Larkin, Anthony Mantha at an 85. What happened to Anthony Mantha? That dude fell off a cliff. I mean, he 85 overall is decent, but still. Philip Hronek is there. Wow, this was the season, I believe, that Detroit was absolutely terrible. Edmonton has a 22-year-old, 95 overall young McDavid, and look at that flow, baby. He literally looks like Jesus. Draisaitl's at a 92. Nuge is only an 85. We are a few years away from being a good team. Florida, Huberdeau's at a 91, Barkov 90, Keith Yandel is there. I believe he is retired in real life. Drew Doughty still a 91. Dustin Brown, I believe, is still the captain of the LA Kings at this point. Minnesota has those awful contracts of Parise and Ryan Suter, both still playing. I believe both of them are retired, or Ryan Suter's playing on Dallas. Who knows? Montreal got Shea Weber as their captain, 88 overall. Thomas Tatar is there. Brendan Gallagher, Jeff Petrie, Max Domi. Domi had a great year, I believe, with Montreal. He put up like 70 points that season. Oh no, it was 18-19. He had 28 goals and 72 points. Roman Josi, I mean, in real life right now, he's still the best player on the Predators. Duchesne's there, Ryan Ellis, Forsberg. I mean, pretty similar roster. PK Subban is the highest rated player on the New Jersey Devils. I believe a rookie Jack Hughes is here, 18 years old. He did not have a good rookie season whatsoever, but the Slubinator, or the slew foot guy in Subban, 9 goals, 31 points the year before. Who knew at the time that he was only a few years away from literally being retired? He's only 30 years old. The Islanders, I mean, their team's pretty similar. Jordan Eberle is still there. Brock Nelson, Andres Lee. Bredman on the Rangers, 91 overalls. Trouba's there. Ryan Strome, Tony DeAngelo before the whole controversy that happened in New York. Ottawa's best player is Thomas Chabot, who's 22 years old, 86 overall. Brady Tkachuk's an 82. Connor Brown, yeah, this team is absolutely horrible. Philly still has their captain in Claude Giroux. Sean Couturier is there. Travis Konechny, Gostisbehere, Crosby, 32-year-old Sid the Kid. He's what, like 36 now? That's crazy, man. No longer Sid the Kid. He was a 93 in this game. Malkin, 91. Letang, 88. Gensel was an 87. The Sharks did have Eric Carlson as their best player at a 90. He did not have good seasons in San Jose besides his final year where he won the Norris Trophy. St. Louis, fresh off of a Stanley Cup, still have their captain. Ryan O'Reilly is there. Tarasenko, David Perron, Tampa, this was the year they started winning cups. 92 overall, Kucherov. Victor Hedman was a 90. Stammer only a 90. I mean, Hedman was a 91, not a 90. Braden Point, not even a 90 yet. And here is the Toronto Maple Leafs. John Tavares, I believe, was named captain this season. He's the highest overall player, tied. It's a three-way tie between Matthews, Marner, and Tavares, all at a 90. Riley's an 87. Nylander only an 85. That's completely different. Right now, you could argue that he had the best season out of the three, although Matthews did score 69 goals. Nice. Pedersen, he's only 20 years old on Vancouver. Bo Horvat, I think, was the captain. I don't even know at this point. Was Bo Horvat given the C yet? Let's take a look. He was the captain in NHL 20. This was the Vegas Golden Knights before they became the Vegas Golden Cheaters. Mark Stone at an 88 overall. Pacioretty was an 86. Marchessault 86. Carlson 85. This was the year. I don't even know who they played. I think they beat Colorado in the bubble. Ovi still a 92 overall at 33 years old. John Carlson was a 91. Kuznetsov 89. Backstrom 88. And finally, for the Winnipeg Jets, I mean, their team wasn't that much different. They do have their captain in Blake Wheeler and Dustin Byfuglien. I can't remember if this was his final season in the league. 87 overall at 34 years old. This dude was an absolute unit. And of course, they got Fortnite Line, who's only 21. I believe he scored like 50 goals this year. 44 2 years ago, he scored 30, and it was all downhill from the... Oh my God, he was a minus 24 after scoring 30 goals. Tuukka Rask still play with the Boston Bruins at a 90 overall. Let's check here. Buffalo, they had Linus Ullmark, a young Linus Ullmark. Corey Crawford was still the starter of Chicago with Malcolm Subban as the backup. That is rough. Dallas had a 32-year-old Ben Bishop at an 89 overall. He actually retired pretty early because of some issues. I mean, he was 6'7". No wonder he had issues. That is one tall-ass goalie. Mike Smith was a starter of Edmonton. Dear God, don't bring me back to those days. Bobrovsky was only an 88. Minnesota had Devin Dubnyk. Montreal still had Carey Price. 91 overall. Price, I mean, hasn't officially retired, but he's been done for a few seasons now. Henrik Lundqvist was still in goal for the New York Rangers. Igor Shesterkin, take a look there. A 23-year-old Shesterkin had medium elite potential, so they knew, EA Sports knew, that this guy was going to be a good-ass goalie. The Pens still had Matt Murray, who was still a decent overall at an 86, 25 years old, and it was pretty much all downhill after that. St. Louis fresh off of a rookie Jordan Binnington. Tampa, 91 overall Vasi, best goalie in the world. Freddie Anderson was still on Toronto, with the backup being Jack Campbell. Vancouver had Jacob Markstrom. Vegas had Marc-Andre Fleury and Robin Lehner. Washington had Braden Holtby at an 88 overall. And of course, Winnipeg, they still have Connor Hellebuck. Now that we know all the rosters in the league, we are going to go ahead and simulate up to current day. But before we go ahead and do that, if you guys do enjoy videos like this, make sure you do leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications on. NHL 25 is right around the corner. The Dallas Stars would go ahead and become the best team in the NHL, win that President's Trophy with 59 wins, 10 more than the second place San Jose Sharks, who are god-awful in 2024. The Pens are up there. Toronto made the postseason, as well as Tampa Bay, Carolina. And at the bottom, we have the defending Stanley Cup champions in the St. Louis Blues. Only 27 wins. Anaheim was bad. The Predators, Arizona, New Jersey, and the Vegas Golden Knights did not even make the postseason. The dog, Nathan MacKinnon, will take home the Art Ross Trophy. He led the league in scoring with 109 points, followed by Ovi's 105. Marner had 105, so a massive season for Mitch. Rantanen 102, and Patty Kane with 100. For the goal side, Ovi, no surprise here. 57 goals on the season, but what is a surprise is Tyler Seguin, 54 goals, a career high by far. He had 40 in 17-18, but 94 points and 54 goals. He simulated out of this world. McKinnon had 46, Kane 45, Malkin 44. Phil Kessel was up there with, 41 goals? And for the goalies, Bishop had the most wins at 48, and the most shutouts will be a two-way tie between Jonathan Quick and Tuukka Rask. And the Washington Capitals will go on and win the Stanley Cup, their second in 3 seasons, as they beat Dallas in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. I mean, not too many interesting... I mean, LA in the conference finals. Minnesota in the conference finals is a little bit surprising, not going to lie. McKinnon will take home the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross and Hart Trophy. Ovi, the Maurice Richard. The Norris will go to John Klingberg, the Conn Smythe. Also to Ovi, Bishop the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Ryan O'Reilly. The Predators will go ahead and win the NHL Draft Lottery. Anaheim came in second and Vegas in third. The UFA class here in 2020, we got Taylor Hall, Tyson Barrie is there. I think Barrie actually signed with Edmonton. Kevin Shattenkirk, Kovalchuk, Ilya Kovalchuk. I completely forgot he was playing on Washington. He put up 37 goals in the sim. Also had 80 points after not a great season with the LA Kings. Ryan Strome is a free agent. Zdeno Chara. What about goalies here? Let's take a look. We got Jacob Markstrom, Linus Allmark, and Corey Crawford. The Toronto Maple Leafs will be the best team in the league here in season number 2. 52 wins. They did have a good year. I remember they were in the bubble. In the Canadian division that wasn't that strong. They had I think they were the best team in the Canadian division, followed by the Oilers. Colorado was up here with 54 wins, Pittsburgh, Vancouver, and Florida. And at the bottom, we have the sad and lonely New Jersey Devils. Connor McDavid, just like in real life, will lead the league in scoring. This time he had 121 points in a full regular season, also 47 goals. Landeskog had 109. Evgeny Malkin was up there, McKinnon 105, Rantanen at 105. Sid the Kid still got it. And on the goal side, Jack Eichel will have the most goals at 51, followed by Crosby and Ovi, who both had 50. Sagan had 49. Malkin was up there. Bergeron put up, oh my God, Bergie, 46 goals, 100 points. And Phil the Thrill Kessel still putting up numbers for goalies. Grubauer had the most wins at 47, and the most shutouts will be a tie between Matt Murray and Freddie Anderson. The Pittsburgh Penguins will sweep Colorado in the Stanley Cup Finals to win Crosby's 4th cup of his career. Oh my God, Toronto made the conference finals, but got swept. What a weird playoff simulation. This was the year that Tampa did go back-to-back and win their 2nd straight cup. I think Tyler Seguin might be the greatest player of all time in this sim. He had 13 goals, 31 points in the postseason in only 17 games, leading the playoffs. Malkin had 31, Crosby 29, Gensel 24, and Landy 23. Landy will take home the Ted Lindsay and Hart Trophy. Art Ross to McDavid, Eichel to Maurice Richard. The Norris will go to Cale Makar, the Conn Smythe to Evgeny Malkin, Grubauer will win the Vezina, and the Selke to Anze Kopitar. Andreas Athanasiou is the best free agent available, 86 overall. Foligno is there. Dougie Hamilton's only an 85. Dustin Byfuglien's a free agent. Yeah, this free agent class isn't that great, but in goal, I mean, Binner, 87 overall, best goalie available. Ronta's an 85. Linus Allmark's available. Toronto will go back-to-back with the President's Trophies, 53 wins this time. Florida had 50. Buffalo was up. I mean, they do have Jack Eichel, who's simulating insanely well right now. Calgary was good. Pittsburgh made the playoffs. Boston was up there, and at the bottom, we have the Arizona Coyotes, now relocated to the state of Utah. Vancouver was bad. Vegas and the Edmonton Oilers. God damn. Connor McDavid will explode and bust his nut all over the NHL. 52 goals, 127 points, leading in both categories. God damn, Anze Kopitar had a good season. Taylor Hall put up 104 points. Bergeron 104, Marshy 101. And on the goal side, I mean, Taylor Hall came close with 48 on the season. Malkin had 47, Stammer as well. Nathan McKinnon 47. Matthews didn't even have a tummy ache yet, nor a mustache. He didn't have either. And if we take a look at the goalies, Freddie Anderson the most wins at 44, and the most shutouts will go to David Riddick, who had 6. Just like in real life, the Colorado Avalanche will go on and win the Stanley Cup here in 2022. Instead, they beat the Capitals in 6 games instead of the Lightning. I mean, the Caps do have 2 Stanley Cups, so in this universe, Washington is pretty much Tampa Bay. For the individual statistics, oh my God, Nathan McKinnon had 21 goals and 48 points. Rantanen 34, Landy 31. Oh, that first line was lethal for the Avs. Backstrom at 28, Carlson 26, Nazem Kadri had 10 goals and 23 points. My God, the Avs were just on a different level, as McDavid is the best player in the world. Drew Doughty will win the Norris, Nathan McKinnon the Conn Smythe, Bob the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Kopitar yet again for back-to-back years. Arizona did one thing right. They won the NHL Draft Lottery. New Jersey, oh my God, went from 10th place to 2nd. They climbed all that way. The Oilers will actually move down from 4th to 6th, unfortunately. John Klingberg is the best free agent available, as well as Alexander Barkov, who is a 90 overall. Klingberg's an 89. We got Mika Zibanejad hitting free agency, Philip Forsberg, Burakovsky, Radulov, Kadri's there as well. And for goalies, Igor Shesterkin, only an 87 overall, 26 years old, but he is hitting free agency, medium elite potential, by far the best goaltender available. The Pittsburgh Penguins will be the best team in the NHL this season, as they won 52 games, followed by the Toronto Toronto Maple Leafs. Tampa Bay was up there, the defending champs in Colorado, 151. Florida, 147. And the Philadelphia Flyers, 148. At the bottom, if we take a look, New Jersey is still god-awful. McDavid will lead the league in scoring yet again. He had 122 points. This was the year that he put up like 150. McKinnon had 115. Crosby, 106. Breadman was up there. Jake Gensel put up 105. Tyler Seguin dominating the sim. Johnny Hockey had 104. And on the goal side, Nathan McKinnon, 63 tucks on the season. Seguin had 60. Patty Kane, 50. And Nikita Kucherov, 49. Dear God, the sim engine is simulating better than it does in NHL 24. Freddie Anderson led the league in wins with 45 out of any goalie. Vasi had 43, Bob 40, and Bob would have the most shutouts at 7. Also a 914 save percentage, not too bad. And finally in the simulation, the Edmonton Oilers have made the postseason, so we're probably going to hop into at least one playoff game and see how the computers perform. I don't know if this has something to do with the game being a PlayStation 4 game. I can't even hear the game sound, even though I have the game sound on, so I guess we're gonna rock with a 0 game sound. I just want to hop in here and see how the computers perform. I mean, this camera angle is a little bit different. I thought I selected True Broadcast. Maybe I should use this in NHL 25. This is a little closer up to the action. Maybe it would actually look a little faster. The computers are going back and forth pretty quickly here. We got a 4-2 lead for Arizona, as they are also leading 3-1 in the series. Zach Kassian over to Savoie. Back to Kassian, and a great save by Darcy Kemper. Big face-off lost by Connor McDavid. 4:20 left to go in the third period. Kubalik trying to center it. Kubalik, and there it is! He will snipe it home to give the Arizona Coyotes a 5-2 lead and pretty much seal the Edmonton Oilers' fate here in round number 1. Also, Pete Mika-Zibanejad signing with the Coyotes. I mean, overall, I haven't really noticed too many tendencies here by the computers. I've only hopped in for a few seconds, but the gameplay is pretty quick. It's going back and forth, and not too bad. It looks a little bit better than... Oh, no, that was a horrible ring in the middle. And Leon Draisaitl will get robbed by Darcy Kemper. That was a bad rim by the defender, straight on the stick of the Edmonton Oilers player. 2 minutes remaining in a 5-2 game. The Oilers are pretty much cooked unless we get some Connor McDavid heroics. McDavid, back to the point. Back to McDavid. Back to the point again. Ethan Bear to McDavid. Gets Robbie Yamamoto. Couldn't get a shot on net. McDavid behind the net. That was a bad pass to Yamamoto. I don't know why. That was when the computers loved banking it behind the net instead of doing a cross-crease cheese. 45 seconds to go. It looks like the Oilers are going to lose. McDavid, one final rush up to James Neal. I forgot he played on the Oilers. How could I forget? Yamamoto, what are you doing, bruh? The Arizona Coyotes will defeat my Edmonton Oilers in 5 games. We hopped into the final game. Didn't have any luck, as the Coyotes, I guess, are a Stanley Cup contender now in the year 2023. Well, I guess I have to insert, it's a video game when the Toronto Maple Leafs go on and win the Stanley Cup. They beat Colorado in 5 games in the finals, beat Pittsburgh in 5 games as well in the conference finals. Nathan McKinnon is on an absolute mission, but unfortunately, he did not win the Cup. I mean, him and Landy both had 32 points. Matthews had 14 goals and 26 points. Marner was good. Makar as well. Rantanen, Willie Stiles. Kinnan will win the Ted Lindsay, Maurice Richard, and the Hart Trophy. Art Ross will go to McDavid. The Norris to Tyson Barrie on the New York Rangers. Matthews somehow will win the Conn Smythe. Also, another reason that this is a video game. The Vezina will go to Vasi, and the Selke to Patrice Bergeron. Ooh, David Pasternak is a UFA looking for $11 million. 92 overall. Evgeny Malkin's on the free agent market, as well as Philip Deneau. Ovi's a free agent. Killorn, Pionk, JVR is there. And for the goalies, Braden Holtby, 87 overall, the best goalie available. Now, in the final season, the Pittsburgh Penguins, who are washed in real life, are not washed in the game. 57 wins, winning the President's Trophy, followed by the Lightning with 52. Philly was up there, Carolina and Colorado. And at the bottom, we do have the cheaters of the NHL, so this is what they deserve, mate. Connor McDavid will have the most goals in the NHL at 57, and also the most points at 119. Crosby had a good season, as well as McKinnon, Bergeron, Landy, and Marchand. If we take a look at the goaltenders, Matt Murray had 49 wins, and Igor Shesterkin, who signed with St. Louis, had the most shutouts at 9. Somehow, some way, I get to see my Edmonton Oilers in the Stanley Cup Finals. They're going to play the Philadelphia Flyers. Hopefully, we can take home the Stanley Cup and actually go in and see a Stanley Cup presentation. Before before we head in and see the cup celebration, I have been cooking here, and take a look at this. I destroyed Shane Gostisbehere. This is the greatest hit I've ever seen. Better than anything in NHL 24. Look at this. Who is 34? Number 34, Miller? I don't even know who that is. Colin Miller, maybe? Who knows? Anyways, I come across the middle on Shane Gostisbehere. Bang! Absolutely destroyed him. What happened to the hitting in NHL 24? I literally destroyed him. He got wrecked harder than I get wrecked on every single Saturday. And there it is. The Philadelphia Flyers will sweep my Oilers in the Stanley Cup Finals. We'll check out this celebration. I think it was actually longer than what we actually have in 24. And there it is, a little bit different. The Oilers are sad as hell as they're going to lose in the Stanley Cup Finals in 2024, just like in real life. I'm not going to lie. I think this presentation is slightly better than what we got in 25. If we can mix the two, I think that would be a great combo. You get to feel the raw emotion of losing in the Stanley Cup Finals here, as it showed the Oilers multiple times just like sitting there sad on the ice. And even the line shake, the handshake line, is way more detailed and way more in-depth than what we have. The Conn Smythe Trophy will go to Captain Claude Giroux. He had 5 goals and 8 points. That is not correct. But he's going to take home the Conn Smythe for the Philadelphia Flyers. I can't even lie. I'm digging this way more than what we got in 25. There's no stupid confetti falling on the ice that really just clogs your view at seeing your favorite team win the cup. And here we go. Captain Giroux coming on up to raise Lord Stanley for the first time in his NHL career as the Philadelphia Flyers are Stanley Cup champion. That is absolutely insane. Look at this. The only downfall is that you don't get to choose who raises the Stanley Cup. That was a good addition that EA did add to the game, but overall, I think this presentation is slightly better than the one that we got. Crosby will take home the Ted Lindsay and the Hart Trophy. The Art Ross and Maurice Richard will go to McDavid. John Klingberg will take home the Norris, Giroux the Conn Smythe, Vasi the Vezina, and Barkov, who is on the LA Kings, will take home the Selke Trophy. Well, that will do it for this video as we went back to NHL 20, simulated up to current day, and I mean, the only thing that they really got right was the Oilers making the finals and losing in 2024. Overall, it was a fun video to go back and make. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you leave some support on it. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, don't be silly. Wrap your willy.